also take it. Just comes down to what we see, because honestly, and as a Desk had mentioned, it's been a minute since we've seen XSET play this map.
Yeah, it's been probably about 2 or 3 months since they played this map, right? And it's also big changes with Death picking up Breach. You know, again, he still has not played that character very often, so this is definitely a fresher look. Ghost has won their last 4 games in a row on this map, and all pretty one-sided. You know, they won all their qualifier games, but they still haven't met a team of this quality while they were doing that.
A little early battle between chambers. Koala Noob will hit the first shot, so Cryo will rendezvous away. Barrier orb defensively placed through gate, and that's actually enough to force Ghost to take a couple of chip shots at it, but without breaking any segments. They rotate right back over towards B, and XSET is already ready. Look at them rotating through spawn to get here.
Yeah, they're all in position. They even already do get cryo cells onto site, essentially, as Ghosts are looking to play underneath and try to add a little bit of a different route to this attack here. This actually forces XSET to reconsider. Back up a couple more players to defend towards the A side. Just now, Cryo and Depth here playing on the B side, as Ghosts are looking to pounce onto site with flashes and the paint shells to clear a way forward. But a great counter fault line.
Cryo opportunity, but once again comes up empty. So Ghost can continue forward. And as Cryo will not be able to safely teleport back, it'll be numbers now, and some really good site control for Ghost. XSET looking primed to try to challenge this early, but with a lot of utility still existing for Ghost, it's going to be hard-pressed to really get this off the ground. Good first blood, though. That's going to be enough for Nismo to drop, and into a 4v4 we push. XSET waiting for the Boombot to maybe get its full life of information, and just an aggressive swing for Zekit. Takes down Koala, and just like that, now XSET are on towards the site. John, the only one to defend from B tower. He's going to get pushed back. Opening trade comes through. Proto delaying, but you heard the spike get toggled. He's going to have to try to push forward for a check at some point, or maybe so you thought. Good shots from Proto. Will get him 3 and Ghost the pistol.
Yeah, just a really heavy attack there from Ghost on to B. Good reaction from XSET to get a couple of frags, make it interesting. They just kind of bunched up together and just went out swinging, but a Proto coming out strong here, collecting everyone that was left for the hat trick. And that'll get him around early here. As you know, was mentioned, XSET played this map twice last stage. Both were pretty one-sided losses. Particularly their attacking side was a bit of a struggle.
All this time, how about BCJ forward? Boombot will not scout, but the shoulder's just being a little bit too much shown in Nismo. Oh my goodness. Just collecting souls over through the backside of Dish. Koala will take the 3rd one away from him, but Ghost easily make their way into A.
Yeah. Getting ripped through as XSET spike get collected here by Nismo any moment for the plant as he gets healed. Just Aaron and Cryo cells left, and Aaron has a shorty. Not really the retake weapon you'd like to have.
I can think of better ones.
All of them.
Good timing on the flash here from Brock. Good shot from Koala Noob over his shoulder to finish things off. It'll be a Prime Gaming flawless. All of it starting with Nismo with the double through Dish.
Yeah, you could see that XSET were just having the gamble, and that's kind of what you have to do defensively on this map, is kind of pick a spot and play it. Get information, or maybe get an early battle to go your way. Unfortunately for them, while they guessed correctly, didn't have the firepower to battle back against Nismo and Co., who just ripped through this. 3 quick frags. And the follow-up for that, flawless. But now here comes the buy. An operator already for Koala, dude.
Yeah.
He saved up for this bit, and everyone else on Spectres.
There's also an opportunity here with Nismo getting as many frags plus the plant from a round ago. He's definitely within striking distance of maybe being able to secure, a showstopper.
Yep, probably for
Or we'll get him one
post-plant.
away, and yeah, that could be huge.
Def trying to play up close here on drop. Definitely heard them get orb and knows that there's some presence here. Has a couple of players to help out nearby towards A halls and door. As I say that, though, we do see Ghost rerouting back to the top side of the map with the bulk of their forces, including that spike carrier. Proto coming from the bottom side. Cryo tries to play that angle from B tower. He is going to have some assistance here from Aaron. They're just going to kind of double up on this top side of the map towards Arcade and just try to see if they can maybe get something going. You see Def ready to go as well here with some utility on the breach to try to set up the counterattack.
Yeah.
So they have a good read of the situation, but can they actually fight it off?
maybe a couple of shreds of doubt as Aaron will back up to provide some sky smoke support of the two defenders at A. But here comes Ghost's call. Vault line for Def once again will connect onto all 4 members that are stacked up in this position, giving Cryo a bit of room to breathe. But here comes the commitment, flashing forward at Nismo. Oh, the blast back play! That's enough for the showstopper to get earned. Ghost still need to kind of work their way through this though, because defensively, XSET have all 4 numbers that are here. The barrier orb is down. Paint shells will provide a little bit more of a buffer, and then the showstopper also just threads a needle and takes down BCJ as the spike gets planted. Second paint shells once again keeping XSET at arm's length.
That was so well done from Nismo. He has his Spectre, and he plays it perfectly by getting close range in B tower. Great use of the satchel to get him up close and get that kill onto Cryo. Then showstopper for another. And pretty much ends it right then and there. XSET just have to save weapons here. Well done from Ghost to pull off their bonus.
Yeah. And possibly do it flawlessly as well. And very well may. Def watching the corner will get one, but there's really no reason for Ghost to not challenge this, as you're going to be able to afford into the next round. So these are important repurchases off of what was already a guaranteed round for Ghost. A great start for them through 3.
Yeah. That was a solid round from Ghost, to say the least. Even when getting hit by all the Death's utility, they just weather that storm. They still get Nismo up from the B tower, and he gets a big entry right here in the crowd. Again, just brilliant use of that ability. And even if he goes down, the immediate tray was right behind him. But it's not required. He just clears out the site. Great showstopper to kill any hopes of XSET retaking. And now XSET up against the ropes here. Just that Phantom that was saved. A Stinger for Zekken. Pistols at best for the rest.
Yep. So looking good for Ghost to take 4 here, pending that, of course, they can work through the initial setups. Still a lot of utility that could provide XSET the defensive pressure they need to pull a Thrifty off, but Ghost so far have really kind of done a nice job of keeping XSET guessing. And now we're going to get a different barrier orb this time. Blocking off this drop would mean Ghost either has to wait this out or really pretty much give a cue that they're going to hit this quickly by deleting it.
Yeah, or we're going to get picked up here by a Proto. Now is going to have that orbital ready to go to help fend off any type of retake. We're all looking to push through Jop here, and I mean, everyone from XSET's in place, and while they don't have the best weaponry, they have a little bit of something.
Aaron down low, really needed to go 1 for 1 here. Orbital strike behind the barrier orb. Oh, yeah. That'll work for a plant at least. XSET still in a position, though, with 1 kill collected and a lot of other members dwindled on health to potentially still put this over. Problem about it is they're kind of one-dimensional in this retake attempt, and John is happy to take an extra step forward to make sure nobody comes through halls. Oh, wow. And that will be it. Just dropping Proto. Ghost cleanly take the 4th.
Yeah, they're building up a really hefty economy at this point. While that wasn't flawless, they only lost 1. So credits are bountiful for Ghost Gaming here, and XSET have only kind of combined 6 frags so far. That's Nismo covered by himself. +1. Proto almost also has it covered by himself, so it's a tough start here from XSET. Definitely a good time to call a timeout and figure things out. I mean, the thing is, they would certainly have at least been able to watch some of the qualifier games from Ghost and kind of have a general idea on what to expect, whereas they're kind of shrouded in mystery. It's not a map that's come up often for them. They've definitely made some changes to some of the agents that are being played by particular players, but still not really able to get off the launching pad. And again, this is a tough map defensively. No doubt about it. Either you have to have really good retakes, or you have to have some good information plays you can make early around to kind of set yourself up on your rotations. And again, we have seen some good utility usage at times, but
sure,
Ghosts are just polished to fight through it.
Yeah, I wouldn't contest that at all. And I think that's why you feel the need to call this early timeout.
Yeah.
Because you really, I mean, you talk about the fact that either you have to have good information or good retakes, and XSET really hasn't shown either yet. So something has to kind of give. And I was just about to say, maybe there's an opportunity to kind of utilize Def's utility to get an early information play just by solid checks. And that may be the case here through Dish, as it looks like it very well could be a fault line and second push through moment.
Yeah, they're looking to get into Dish, as you said, with that fault line, but Nismo sends the Boombot through and kind of confirms that no one's pushed behind that, really. Just kind of keeping that solo pressure in place. The rest of his team is actually going to be battling up through B tree position. And there's so much behind this from XSET.
Yeah. It's really just Nismo holding this angle. Oh, and he even takes the first. That 1-for-1 is perfectly acceptable if you're Nismo. Smokes to try to delay what is very much so the imminent hit over towards B. The barrier orb will block. Trademark connects, but largely Ghosts get what they came for. 1-for-1 trade and a spike plant.
Yeah, but at least it's even numbers for XSET on this retake, so there still is a way back for them. But again, Ghost reacted appropriately to the pressure that Nismo felt over towards Dish, no doubt about that. But that's a big catch there from Cryo, catching out Koala Noob. John Cutie, though, played up close, is doing his job to slow this thing down.
Oh, and just the utility to push this back. It allows Ghost a chance to kind of flex this post-plant setup. A BCJ able to get a 1v1 with Proto. John will also fall, so now it all falls onto Brock, and he's going to be tested, and oh! That's fine, he's got Rolling Thunder. He's going to call this. There's enough time for him to kind of play with. He can wait until the spike gets toggled. No need to check. Zekin gets the kill, but there's not going to be enough time. That's going to secure the round. Wow, what a play that is for Brock.
Yeah, big multi-frag. Great use of Rolling Thunder to confirm the win. Ghost 5-0. And again, yeah, they lost all the members, but who cares? They have such a bankroll right now. I mean, you got to applaud the efforts from XSET. Some good initial trades, but Brock just stays hunkered down here. Gets what he needs. That final frag for the ult and just kills it with the clock. And yeah, Ghost looking fierce on this pick. Double sniper coming out from XSET, though. Cryocells has a tour de force. That's going to be another adjustment being made here to try to do something. Well,
okay.
That works.
Absolutely. Well,
you'll take that?
Heavy, absolutely. Nismo heavy hitter off. Resurrection available. Allows him to essentially negate all of that early presence from XSET. We go back to 5v5.
Yeah, but you like being able to burn the res on a situation like that.
Yeah, sure.
Boombot comes out, forces Zekin's hand, as he is going to have to retreat the angle. Still B tower being held up, though, by XSET. BCJ fortifies it there with that barrier orb. Also starting to get a rotation from Aaron through spawn, as we are going to see Ghost pivot the attack to B tree through the underpass. And not even necessarily committed.
No, not at all.
But there is that forward angle from Cryocells here with Tour de Force and A-Halls, and he's got trademarks and Rendezvous to cover himself, so he still could get the info and, you know, at least take one with him to kind of slow this attack down. And
with Aaron leaning over towards a Link, Amali could also be there to try to delay this. Gets the first, holds his ground.
I love this. That's what Cryo's known for. He doesn't burn his teleports or dashes quick. Everyone else would normally just get the kill and get out of there. He's so patient. He still hasn't used it.
My gosh! Yeah! Say it with a little more authority next time, Dusk. Cryo just takes 3 before ever even considering the rendezvous, and that will single-handedly likely win the round.
That's just something I noticed a lot last stage when I was watching film of XSET and just kind of watching Cryo, because he was kind of the hot new thing to watch last season, or one of them at least. You know, as he was the newest pickup, he was the one that was maybe the least well-known. And yeah, he's just so patient on when he chooses to use his escape ability. You know, obviously what Jen's the tail end, it's the rendezvous with Chamber, and he likes to just linger around a little bit more than other players. So he likes to try to see what more he can get. He doesn't feel panicked to burn it right away. And you can see in this round, it benefited him massively. I mean, that's such a huge kill, and he just stays. They're probably thinking he's going to snap out of there, but he just holds his ground. And now they definitely think he's snapping now, and he's like, nah, I'm going to repeat again. I'm having that.
That is a huge round for XSET. They even collect a handful of the rifles you see in their inventory. So this is essentially, for all intents and purposes, kind of a bonus round for XSET in a way. Trying to get their economy established, but Koala Noob over through A-Halls takes down BCJ before the barrier orb could fully conceal his position.
Yep.
Paint shells will force Koala Noob a bit further forward, but he's fine to take the angle as largely XSET isn't in a place to contest this.
Yeah, this is a big split coming in on the A side from Dish and through Halls right now. Aaron does have the smoke for cover for now. That's about to be gone. This barrier orb's also about to get rinsed away. And I mean, Cryo is still way far off on flanking, and there's a trademark in front of him, but that's a big kill from Aaron.
Oh, and a second, plus one more. Okay.
What?
Yeah, Aaron denies Nismo's kind of cheeky blast pack play that he had made in the last couple of rounds towards this A hit. And follows it up with a double behind that, which is remarkable for XSET.
Yeah,
Don't even
Aaron got
spend
away
a
with
single
so
ult.
much.
Yeah.
I can't believe he got that much out of that. That's huge because the thing is that flank from Cryo was still a long ways off.
Yeah.
And they were looking like they were about to get boxed in on side. But
30 seconds
Aaron
left.
somehow fins it. And again, props to a man making yet another agent pivot for this team
For real.
throughout all the different iterations of this squad. I mean, he is essentially the only OG left.
Yeah. Oh, the thing about it too, like hearing the interview before the series started, it's like, look, maybe the biggest categorization you can make of the whole interview was XSET saying, we feel like we're a little bit too slow to get full adjustments and adaptations to the meta. So those kind of role swaps are going to be important for it.
Yeah.
But with the quick rotation through
And that's
ropes,
the other thing. Yeah, like we talked about like how XSET forever the bridesmaid, right? Never the bride. Always
Sure.
just one series away from representing North America internationally. Obviously, Death being the Brit. But
naturally.
that means that, yeah, even if it doesn't work out, and some people might call that a curse, it does just mean that you're consistently right there, which means you don't have that much more to go to get across the finish line.
Yeah.
You just have to find those last couple of key adjustments and kind of just weather the storm. You know, they're definitely always going to be a contender in this region.
Well, Qualnoob gave us a little bit of interest there at the end, but does rendezvous after getting the plant off, kind of avoiding the 1v3, just securing a bit of extra cash. So the pocket's still pretty healthy for Ghost, largely speaking. Only one that's going to have to be a little bit hampered in this round will be Brock. And on the opposite side, I mean, you look at XSET, kind of, again, talking about that fake or kind of second bonus, if you want to call it that. Now you've got 4 ultimates and some deep pockets of your own.
Yes. They have really started to find a way back into this, but
Yeah.
still not going to get an easy round. Ghosts still have their own funds to burn through here as they once again look to put that initial pressure towards Dish. There is a defensive trademark there to detect this if they commit. While they also hold a pretty powerful B-Tower defense.
The thing about this setup defensively for XSET is you better hope that slow orbs and sky smokes are there in time to help second, because he is completely by himself.
Yeah.
And this looks like it'll be a trademark hit, and then immediately
At least he
go
knows he can
call for
focus
Ghost.
this way, right? Because he
Yeah.
knows that A-Halls is blocked off by barrier.
Oh,
That's a
oh,
great
oh.
orbital strike to really push his attack back into Dish Room. And that's going to be exactly what you were talking about, that they needed to be able to shuffle back. But they'll just concede. They'll take that orb and get the heck out of there. Maybe even reconsider things.
I just don't know if you have the time to fully rotate back over towards B. You're going to have no information on where the defense is. You're going to have to use utility to get into Arcade, through B Tower, let alone onto site. But Ghost is going to go for it. And Def has Rolling Thunder to try to stop this. If he can stay alive and get a read,
30 seconds
yeah,
left.
he's just going to wait for it. This is a hell of a read from XSET. The defense is starting to rotate over. There's the gut check call for the Rolling Thunder. Flash behind it. Nisbo's completely hindered, and Def will even punish with the first blood elimination. 15 seconds on the clock. Ghost still making their way through B Tower. Cryo over the top through the sky smoke, looking to give a little bit of assistance to Def, who may not need it in any regard. And XSET will cleanly hold. What a set of reads that is.
Yeah, that was really well done from XSET, getting the most out of their utility. Again, they knew that A-Halls wasn't being taken yet due to that deeper barrier orb, and so that meant Zekken could just focus on the drop, and once they felt that pressure, they drop the orbital strike, and they start to make their rotations in case there's a recommitment. All the while, they know that Def has that Rolling Thunder available to solo hold B if it's required, which it was, and he stepped up to the plate and delivered. Slowing down the attack, but also getting a couple of frags along the way to set up his team to get back into position. So that's just good, like, information management there from XSET, I guess you could say, and great use of all
Sure,
their
yeah.
utility. And that's 3 rounds in a row after their timeout. They're starting to piece it together here, starting to get back into the mix.
Wow. Okay. I think we all just readjusted ourselves in our seats a bit.
How did you
The
know?
question, I know you. We're old. We can't stay in the same place.
Yeah.
long.
That round piqued my interest. Now I'm curious to
Yeah,
see how
yeah.
much more can XSET recover this half.
Sure.
Because I won't lie, it was looking a little bit shaky at the beginning, and Ghosts were looking, on point, very comfortable, had everything, going what they expected. Now What's their adjustment after this timeout? What do they pull up their sleeve? But they finally run out of funds. That's the other big thing. Now XSET finally get, I wouldn't say a freebie, but they finally, you know, have a little bit less to battle against.
Absolutely. This round just has to be one of those where we're just trying to get a little bit extra here if you're Ghost. You don't expect to win this one, but if you can get a little bit closer to a couple of ultimates, force some repurchases out, you'll feel okay about it. But Zekin.
See you later.
Yeah.
On the aggression. This is the first time we've really seen XSET push this deep on this side of the map. And he takes out the biggest weapon Ghost had immediately.
Oh gosh, Cryo gets a shoulder or a finger or something, and Nismo still confirms the kill. BCJ off the slow orb, follows up, and then Zekin's aggression completely contains the play. Yeah, this is brilliant, and you've hit it on the head. The fact that this is the first time we'll see Zekin get aggressive from this angle. Brock an opportunity to maybe salvage a weapon, but at 5 HP, you have to feel like XSET will try to challenge this pickup.
Yeah, he's not getting the spike down. Not with 5 health. It's just not enough. Def already pushed here. Catches it on the rotation. And they maintain 4 players, so that's not even a costly one from XSET. They just have to rebuy 1 player, and they keep the op on Cryocell. So everything going swimmingly on this comeback, I guess you could say, from XSET, having won 4 in a row now, but goes back onto a full purchase. They have a couple of alts in play, including a Rolling Thunder, which is a huge tool to get onto a site. Or
this has to be what was talked about in the timeout.
Yes.
How do we want to use this Rolling Thunder and Orbital Strike with full weaponry going into this next round? Because this is an important one.
Curious how XSET want to play around that. Looks like they're a little bit more heavy over towards the B side early in on this round. They're playing A-Halls from door, but that's how they set up that deeper barrier,
I'm not going to lie, Dust. This looks like they're trying to set up for a showstopper denial of a Rolling Thunder. I mean, Zekin is in a position to instantly respond, and even if he gets concussed, it'll still have the ability of maybe confirming a kill and really halting this play from Ghost.
Yeah, they have a good read on this. Again, that deeper barrier or that BCJ keeps dropping is giving them a lot of flexibility. Yep.
Oh! And the trademark still connects. He's going to get one for free. This completely shuts the play down. Paint shells to further delay. And honestly, what looked to be just Al concussed and be just a counter of the showstopper, Zekin doesn't even get concussed during that.
No, that was beautiful. Quality gets detected here. He's going to have to rendezvous out. Zekin continues to hold the forward angle here. He's got support. Meanwhile, that barrier is finally broken at A-Hall, so XSET still have to kind of pay mind to this A side of the map, but Ghosts are not giving up on this B attack, but there's still a stout defense ahead of them.
Oh, Zekin on just an off angle. Spams, looks to create separation by way of the blast pack, but it's not going to matter. Def will take his position. Trades back and forth. Cryo misses one. Hold on a second. You still have Orbital Strike here if you're Proto. He's going to call that in, and Qualinum's going to take that as an opportunity to move forward. So this Spike will be planted. Now. Absolutely it is. Cryo and BCJ are waiting for health before they challenge this 2v2.
Yeah, do they know about Koalanu playing this off angle up close? They're going to have to clear this together just to be able to get the space they need, as Cryo will lead the way, and he gets stamped out. BCJ's not there for the immediate trade, but he does win the 1v1, and he's going to be able to get the res. That's huge. They still have a shot at this now.
But where's Proto? After that Orbital Strike, you're kind of completely concealed. He's playing what is essentially just a stack up angles. Gets the first, no problem. Has the second in front of him, a BCJ! Essentially 1v2s it, if you want to call it, with an asterisk on it. And that'll be enough for XSET to take us to 5, and Ghost are going to be in a weird financial situation in the next round.
Dude, BCJ has been on point this series, and again, it's great to see that early on from him this stage after some struggles in the previous one. And I think the biggest thing that's happening right here that I feel like Ghosts are going to have to address is not only is BCJ winning these 1v1s, which was massive for this round, but he is getting so much value out of that deep barrier orb on A-Halls.
Yeah,
he's opening the door from rope side and just dropping that thing down. They don't have to worry about that for quite some time. And I think Ghosts need to respond. They need to break that early and start putting some doubt on XSET's defense.
Oh, they're going to try for it. Nismo moving very quickly forward. And yeah, they do deny the angle through door this time. But, I mean, you deny the orb initially. Can you deny it even further, though, with all these slow orbs that are in play? The answer is initially no, but it does not fortify this time. XSET still opted to take this gunfight against all the SMGs, and Def is just responding to everything. But is there enough to fully take this home if you're XSET? Brock will salvage one weapon. Aaron is a 1v1 and does not get through it. So a litter of slowing orbs all over A-Halls is enough for XSET to hold the round 11 defense at Halls and go up by 1 for the first time.
And that's a question I had. I was wondering, what does XSET do if Ghosts challenge that wall early with a lot of pressure? Do they have a follow-up to it? And their answer was just to take the fight. And just to keep rotating people in as one man falls, another man takes their place. And they just kept staying a step ahead throughout each and every battle. And it was enough to get the W in the end. And so XSET have put together 6 rounds in a row to take the lead after being down 0-5. And look, a cryo.
Oh, boy. You just feel the confidence really coming to life now for XSET. Unbelievable.
That's a good point. Yep. I mean, they are certainly finding their footing. And I mean, look at that. Zekken's already pushed all the way through Dish.
Oh, even the shot's not quite connecting for Ghost here, as Cryo was pretty much in no man's land.
Eliminate.
You want to play?
Wow. What do you want to say
what
about
a change
it,
of pace.
honestly? Yeah. Golly. So 2v5. Walla Noob, I think a lot of people are looking at you. What can you do with this tour de force? Oh, and he's shown his head. What a set of shots that is from Second. Paint shells through. John's going to be absolutely torn to shreds by those. And yeah, that'll be the round. This will be 7 in a row for XSET, Dust. Are you kidding me?
Yep, down from 0-5 to leading into halftime. Now, the big question will be, how have they reshaped their attacking side? Because that was the big struggle last stage for them on this map. See, I mean, what?
I'm sorry.
Good God, John Cutie.
No, dude.
Just getting absolutely pummeled, and he's still getting hit by reach utility.
Turn it off. Halftime break. 7 in a row for XSET. We'll be back after the next 2-minute break. What a spree from XSET. 7 in a row to get us to a 7-5 half there, Dust. It was an abusive finish there at the end. And now they go on to what has been a pretty solid offensive half as well.
Yeah, they need to make it work because in the last stage, they only got 1 attacking round in the first half against the guard. And then after 7 defensive rounds against 100 Thieves, they only found 2 attacking rounds there. Yeah. Meanwhile, we have seen Ghost time and time again get 8 or more defensive rounds throughout qualifiers, and that would be enough to win.
Oh, opening information from Koala, but just barely misses the head of Zekken.
Here.
And Ghost are actually going to try to reinforce this B site pretty early with Brock and a Proto moving forward, but Zekken on an angle. I think he may have just seen part of Koala Noob. There's the opportunity. It's a sloppy gunfight, but it is one that XSET wins, and that's enough for them to hit the go call. But with Proto and the rest of Ghost defense already here, they're looking to contest this. Just kind of self-smoking. Oh, goodness. Proto's actually just keeping his own feet a little bit warm up here.
Bro, he's trying
into his
to
own
stay
molly,
alive.
and he will eventually fall as the spike is planted. Yeah, sure did.
Cue up the Bart Simpson meme. You tried. And him a piece of cake. I mean, they are very low on health on 3 players, to be fair.
Yeah. This barrier orb is providing kind of a very difficult line in the sand. Good team shots coming in. Nismo will drop. John with the wide peak. Fault line for Brock to able to try to win this angle, but it's not largely going to do too much. So it's on to John. He will get a double, but how do you get through these XSET members that are still playing with the clock more than maybe anything else? John on 3, though, would be playing for ace. He's going to try to stick this to at least halfway. In fact, he's going to try to stick it all the way through. Not a lot of time to do anything else, and XSET just able to kill off enough clock to win the pistol and put themselves up 8-5.
Yeah, really good patience there from Zekken, kind of waiting out the aggression from Koala Noob over there on the top side of B. Gets his man. They overwhelm a Proto in B tower with utility, swarm him out, and that pretty much locks it in. Obviously, some good heroics there from John Cutie to try to make things interesting, but never quite posed a real threat.
Yeah.
As it is going to be XSET now 8 rounds in a row. Looking to make it 9, as Ghost obviously do not have anything really committed here. They're just trying to gamble stack Dish.
It's going to work out for him, and this actually is starting to look pretty similar to the same kind of ideas for XSET that they had on Haven. Just let opening utility from Ghost come out first before we make a move. And as they will get vacancy through A halls, Ghost isn't done on this route. I mean, the trademark is, look at the, how do we deal with this trademark? And they're going to smoke this in order to try to play around. They're thinking that this is going to be hit back towards B, and honestly, once again, XSET is a little bit weary on this hit.
Oh, no. I mean, the good thing about this is once they realize that B is clear, they can still just all retake together. But there is another trademark that was left behind NA halls that would detect this. So, actually, there's 2 layers of trademarks there if they try to come down through that side of the map. as XSET will win the guessing game, I guess you could say, getting the spike down clear and free on the A side of the map, and all that's left to do is for Ghost to march forward and likely get pummeled.
Very likely indeed. It's going to be an early play for XSET. Fault line, peek. Sure, first pick is fine. Counter fault line out. Paint shells will delay, and Aaron is teeing off.
Ace, maybe?
Could be.
Nah, Nismo's kind of far off from letting them do it.
I mean, Aaron's hunting it down.
He's trying.
Oh, why not? And nothing further. Okay.
No. Gonna die of the spike.
Orbital strike round 3 is not bad, though. Take those if you're XSET.
Big fan.
Massive
Only
fan.
alt that will be in play in this round. And obviously could be huge to take a site or shut down a retake, and that's massive when you're on a bonus round and you got a firepower disadvantage. To have that extra tool can really help things along. I'm curious to see what they want to do with all these Spectres, if they have something in mind. It's like maybe some dish pressure early to try to get those Spectres up close on someone looking to play aggressive at drop, but won't be the case. It's going to be given up, and Zekken will be able to go get this orb.
Fun with trademarks, okay.
Yeah, you know, took a couple.
This is a good shout from our observing team. John now 1 away from a resurrection with that orb. But of course, you figure that if there were to be one earned and used, Aaron has the immediate counter towards it, but is instead going to try to spin it on Nismo, who is in trouble, but does barely slip away. And Brock, who's actually the furthest forward defender, is good for the opening onto Zekken. Reads that 2 more members have slipped on through drop. And it's really on to the timing here if Cryo could find anything. He's behind a lot of the defense, but the problem is none of his teammates are finding any eliminations from the front.
Yeah, you can't really have much impact if his team is just all falling around him before he can ever get into position. He's found out immediately by a Proto, and so this bonus round from XSET will fall flat. Didn't really get any value out of that orbital strike other than some damage onto Nismo. And so that's going to do it.
Left.
Yeah, sure will. Proto likely going to find Aaron first here in this corner. And will.
Yep.
So Prime giving flawless for Ghost. They pull out the orbital strike. They get John 1 away from a resurrection. And very comfortably, now they can start building up an economy to dig back into this deficit.
Yeah, and they're using that same deep barrier orb on A-Halls that BCJ was using when the roles were reversed. So I'm curious, you know, XSET using that to great effect defensively on their comeback. I wonder if they have an answer for seeing it used against them on their attack. As they will be onto a full buy coming to this one and still have a 3-round lead, but finally Ghost able to get a round through after losing 8 in a row.
A gift.
This is a big one here. You win this for Ghost, you are knocking on the door of a tie game again.
Yep. XSET can get it, though. They hold Ghost off. They increase their lead back to 4, and they have the economy of Ghost in a pretty fragile state.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, they'll be able to buy in the next, but that'll tap them out. We are going to see XSET posturing up on both sides of B. They've left a trademark to watch for an A-Halls flank behind them, as well as one on a dish push, so they'll know about both flanks.
Koalandu will stay up top of B tower, use this trademark as a kind of alarm system for any playthrough arcade, of which it looks like XSET will trigger this here pretty soon. Now, he's keeping his attention over towards it, but these smokes are actually well encompassing the bottom side of this hit on the site, and oh, the trademark actually does land, so now XSET are slowed. Proto on the barrier orb out of nowhere. I thought he would have had an angle, but instead doesn't commit to it, and will go to a 4v4 early. It's all spam through the sky smoke, whether it be utility or gunshots, either way. Paint shells deep. Could allow an opportunity. Yeah, they do actually follow up to take down Aaron as the res gets pulled for Ghost defensively. So it's a 5v3. Post plant looking a bit hindered. Cryo, big angle to hold, and actually through Canteen, he will get one and get away. Can time be the biggest ally again for XSET on this post-plant hold? Zekin on one angle, Cryo on the other, but well, they don't quite hit. And now it's just down to Zekin, who's re-earned some paint shells, but knows that he's gonna have to move quickly. John on the cross. He is good for the kill, and Ghost will take the important round to bring him to within 2 and also put XSET in a bit of a bind financially.
Yeah, really good trading off the back of that barrier. Also, a big-time res comes in. Eventually, they fight their way into sights and do put XSET onto that low buy. Just a couple of sheriffs, no ults in play. A Proto has orbital strike available, but likely won't be required this round. And so this is a chance for Ghost, as you were talking about, to start shrinking that gap on the scoreboard right away here. Again, this is them fighting for their series life early on in this group stage. Well, there's a lot of Valorant to be played.
Yeah.
Definitely want to start with that W and keep yourself in contention for one of those top spots for playoffs.
This orb has just been free from both sides so far. No one wanted to contest it whatsoever, and that's turning up really kind of aces for both teams so far. Aftershock and Paint Shell combo puts BCJ in a bit of trouble. We'll be able to heal it, but that's a Hall's control once again for Ghost.
Yeah, and they're looking to push on the quality here for an orb, and there was a player playing bodyguard, but he wasn't keen enough, as Koala Noob will find both. And so any threat that XSET looked to pose taken away. Cryo, though, does get the orb at dish side, so he's one away from Showstopper. They're looking to play the drop side here. Spike on its way over as well. John PD, though, playing the angle behind the box, gets his when he's asked of it. And so that should really do it.
And so it'll be. Wow. You know, interesting little financial stat about this XSET team. Back during Stage 1, they were one of the best teams in North American VCT when playing at full purchase or at an advantage. However, when they start to get snowballed against, they only won 25% of their rounds that they were at an economical disadvantage. That's 11th out of the region. They were very bad in those situations, and Ghost have utilized that to put together not one, but now 2 comebacks.
Let's make them dance.
This is a big round here. They will have Tour de Force for Cryo Cells, so a full buy versus full buy. The only sniper on the field will be Cryo. And he catches Nismo looking to get aggressive. That's a big early pick over towards Beef Tree. That's going to give XSET so many options to have a 5-on-4 that quick.
Interestingly enough, Ghosts have backed off long enough to just essentially force XSET on towards site before they really give a contest. At least towards B, I should say. A is still very much so the focus defensively, and I guess why not if you've got a forward position like Hall's in your favor. Yeah,
they're really trying to see if they can get Koala Noob something going here. 3 of them bunched up there. But here come the smokes and the cross from XSET on the side. Showstopper leading the way. Def gets the kill onto a Proto, and the spike will make its way in.
Yep.
And this is going to be a tough retake for Ghost.
You can't even consider the Rolling Thunder unless you find an opening pick here.
Yeah.
And Cryo's watching the angle. This is the first shot opportunity for Koala Noob. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe there is an opportunity to work your way in. Of course, this is largely going to be red, as all 3 members are stacked, and almost all 3 of them were seen by Cryo before falling. BCJ gets a second. So an opportunity maybe for XSET to just play the top side of the site and force Ghost to have to work through multiple layers, and yeah, that's indeed the case. Koala Noob, last one left. A bit stuck, and Zekin in the slowing field will do no worries as he gets the kill and takes XSET to 10.
Yeah, just caught that early pick onto Nismo and rolled that into a W. And that's tough because that was Koala Noob using his ult on a round where he already had a Vandal. And so he's having to get a drop to be able to put our operator into play this round as he drops a rifle to a Proto. Well, it's still a full buy, so they manage their money well in that regard. They have a couple of ults in play. Obviously, that Rolling Thunder and Orbital Strike can be huge for retakes, but Def has one of his own to take a site.
Yeah.
And this time, the aggression from Nismo works.
Will work.
Yeah. Seems like he was going for something similar last round. Got caught this time perfect.
I mean, again, it's just, regardless of the outcome of this series, I'll say, like, this Ghost team should not be slept on. They're showing us a lot of really cool, unique variety looks, and it's working out more often than it's not, if we're being candid.
Yeah, Nismo's definitely proven himself to be
Yeah.
a name to keep an eye on individually. And as a team, they're definitely working together well as a unit. No doubt about it. Not like they had an easy first draw either. I mean, you're going up against one of the top 5 teams in the region here in XSET.
Absolutely.
As they have a huge edge here.
A lot of people are looking at this group with the guards loss yesterday. I think a lot of people are saying, well, wait a second, XSET has a chance to finish top 2 in this group, no problem, if they play like they did last stage.
It's an interesting situation for sure here. Is 2v4 with little time left on the clock for XSET. They're trying to bring the spike back around to A-side, but obviously a trademark forward on Halls will detect this pretty quickly. And there's not going to be a whole lot that they can do about it. Zekin just trying to at least get orbs going.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah. Good paint shells, but it's not going to matter. And great stuff here from Ghosts. Okay, so 10-9 the current count, favoring XSET still offensively, but once more, we're starting to see Ghost get some favor built defensively. Good reads on the situation, good early plays, getting some aggression, and it kind of feels like they're starting to take the tempo of this game into their corner with them.
Didn't even have to use any ults there. That's huge. They get to roll those forward again. They have Res now available as well. Of course, again, Rolling Thunder still there for Def and a Res available for BCJ also. So, yeah, definitely a tooth and nail fight at this point here. Only one round separating these two squads. It's shaping up to be a close game just like Haven was. Again, neither game started that way. Both teams have their share of getting early leads between the two maps, but it's always come down to this in the mid-moment. Spawn getting aggressive, and he finds his man. Burns that res immediately.
Oh, and look at this. Does he have a read on Cryo? Sure does, but oh, the shot just a bit wide. That would have been an impressive flick nonetheless. Retakes the aim back towards A Halls, but by himself can only do so much. And this Rolling Thunder actually does connect on the 2 next defenders for Ghost. So the Slorbs will kind of reinforce as the hit comes through. Sky Smoke's behind that also to give a bit of a cover to this. And XSET, they're in a great position to set up their post plant.
Zekin played that timing so well. He knew there was a brief moment where Qualnu was still resetting after taking the shot at Cryo that he can maybe slip in there and find the entry, and he did, and that's why they have this 5-on-4 post plant now. They reinforce some of these initial choke points as well to buy a little bit of time, but now Ghost start getting in the position. They still have their ults to use for this retake here on 3 of their players. Cryo holding this angle though, and they're playing A-Halls.
Rolling Thunder first, Orbital Strike coming through second, but XSET still take the wins! How is this allowed to happen? It's all gone wrong for Ghost again in the late stages of a map. They had all the possible utility you could ever want to clear up that all site, and they miss it completely.
It all comes down to Aaron. That's what it comes down to. The man plays off of any area that would be impacted by that Rolling Thunder. He's all the way over towards the bottom side spawn. Again, great entry from Zekin, but Aaron is unfazed by this utility. He's able to sit there and kind of bail his teammates out who were hit by on the other side of the A-Halls and just kind of play a crossfire. So that was just really well read out by XSET. And that's a big one. That's going to put it to 11-9. That part 2 ults.
There are 2 ways to play that. Either Orbital Strike inside the Rolling Thunder to clear halls, or hope you flush players out and you catch them on the back Rolling Thunder with the Orbital Strike to cover the exit. They choose the latter, and it does not work out for him. Opening exchange coming out. John playing a forward angle, and Zekin is aware of it. That is an unbelievable gut check call from Zekin. Trademark will still connect, but we've got a 4v3 XSET with the numbers.
Yeah, Zekin has been on point with these entries these last couple of rounds, and he yet again finds XSET a man advantage here as they are looking to still keep that pressure on A side. Brock is inside sight. He's been spotted, but he wins the duel. Zekin, though, pulls out the showstopper for the immediate trade. Orbital Strike on the defensive spawn also comes into play, setting Aaron up for a frag, and now it's all on the Qualanoob.
Spike planted.
Is going to have the opportunity maybe to isolate these 2 members from XSET. He knows where Def is positioned, but he does get hit by the fault line, and I think Def has seen him.
Yep.
Tries to throw a shoulder to bait out some shots. Yep, here comes Aaron. Not going to be needed, though. Def wins the gunfight, and it's XSET on match point, up 12-9.
Indeed. While they may have hit a little bit of a stopping point after such a big comeback in the first half, right when Ghost was looking to knock on the door, they settle back into it. Win a couple of key rounds, and now they get 3 match points. They've won 3 of the last 4. They've just all been just playing so efficiently. I mean, Zekin in particular has been massive to help turn the tide of this second half. every time he's been called upon to make a play to get his team back into an advantage situation, he's made it happen. And again, I've been impressed by Def on Breach. This has been a big pivot for him, and he's found a lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, you called it at the beginning of this map. It's like we had not really had a lot of time to watch Def in this style of kind of a composition that we're in, and Aaron as well, kind of the same situation for him, and both have been great through this series.
Yeah. Again, we talked about it. Aaron's role has pivoted many times on XSET. You know, originally he was the guy playing the Raze and playing Phoenix when that was meta, and you know, he kind of pivoted into more of a Sentinel role to make room for Def to be the controller and to make room for, you know, Zekin coming onto the team. And now once again he's swapped over. No, he's played a lot of Viper as a controller, but not a whole lot of Omen and Brimstone. But now he's bringing that into play to allow Def to play this Breach. And, you know, this is something that they've, you know, obviously been putting a lot of time into between stages, and it's starting to bear fruit.
Yeah, for sure it is. So Ghost on a Force, 3 SMGs, 1 Judge, 1 Vandal, and maybe 5 Dreams.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Orb. Okay, here we go.
Oh, there's no way they
fault
expect
line
this.
to help. Showstopper called. No, it doesn't get off. Oh, no. Nismo would have had 2 for sure if he could have pulled the trigger, but his head snaps off before the finger can touch, and XSET, I don't know if they realize how close they were to having that entire round foiled by 1 player.
Still a beautiful counterplay on their own barrier to get over and face them with 3 people at the same time with the fault line for support. Now Cryo watches for Koala Noob's flanking maneuver and punishes it. And that's going to prompt them to come into B as he was holding a deep position there. Molotov comes in to provide extra security as a Spike comes in. They have 2 trademarks watching, or they have 1 trademark watching the bottom side. And so they can kind of watch out for this. Yeah, there is the res. But that's really about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they got nothing. Yeah, they got 3 Spectres and basic utility. No ults.
Well, here we go. Do or die time here for Ghost. Fault line's going to connect onto Zekin. There will be a little bit of assistance from BCJ from B Tower. And they're not even going to get through.
Nope.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's a good showing from Ghost, but the adjustments and adaptations in really all 4 halves of Valorant that we watched on both maps for XSET